in a startup team is a really good combination of the founder skills. And if you can find a team that's got a mix of both industry, domain knowledge, as well as technical knowledge, then that's a really good sign and a good company to invest in. I'm just looking, you are there, Dylan. Okay, good. Yeah, make your way up, that'd be great. And that's what we've got with Stay On Hire. They've got 3 co-founders. One of the guys comes from a commercial background, one comes from the industry, and the other is from technology, software developer. And so it's a great co-founder team. The great thing about what they've done is the problem they're solving has come directly out of industry. It's something that they've seen themselves and they've realised there's a problem, and they've been able to find a way to start solving that problem through software. And they've had actually really good engagement with customers, because what's interesting about Stay On Hire is that when they joined our program, some of you may recall or know them as what was Idle, and they were building a marketplace, and there's still a vision for that. But when they went and talked to their customers and got very specific feedback, it turned out it was better to solve this underutilization with the hire companies themselves. And so they literally, through the program, pivoted into a SaaS platform, which is what Dylan's going to be sharing with us tonight, and built that as the program went. And they've already signed up their first customers in that 6-month program, which is, if you're in the industry, that's phenomenal how fast they've been able to do that. So why don't we put our hands together for Dylan from Stay On Hire.
Hi, my name is Dylan, and I'm one of the co-founders of Stay On Hire. After spending almost 10 years in the construction industry as an electrical supervisor, I got tired of seeing machinery sitting around not doing anything, and I decided to do something about it. I ended up interviewing a bunch of my directors, and I ended up interviewing at least 100 directors, including my own, before deciding to actually intern with 6 hire companies here in Perth. Now, while I was there was one problem that recurred and kept coming up every single time. And that was that many of these companies used software that didn't connect or share information. Their only alternative at the moment is to use expensive, complicated, and aging enterprise software solutions. Think about this. You're a small business and you need to manage your fleet's information. You need to manage your scheduling, and you need to manage your maintenance, and you do it all in spreadsheets. You need to know your rates, you get them from spreadsheets. And then what happens is when you need to schedule that machine in, you copy that same information and you do it again, all over again in a calendar. And then what happens is it gets passed to the third person in the company when they manually enter the invoices and then issue them. So when I looked at this problem, this stood out to me like a sore thumb as somebody who is really interested in efficiency and managing teams and getting things running smoothly. So taking these fundamentals, we built one solution that combines the core elements of each. It looks a little like this. Stay On Hire is a cloud-based application that helps rental companies complete the rental process from start to finish, from the first job being scheduled to the issuing of invoices to managing machine and maintenance history post-hire after the job's finished. By doing everything in one centralized location, everything is connected. And after everything is connected, we can then look at the financial data and the return on investment of each individual machine, something that no Xero and no simple tool like Excel or Xero can do for you. In Australia, 7,000 small and medium-sized hire companies make up almost 2/3 of the industry. These companies, I know... Ooh. Oh, it's gone. Anyway, sorry. So 7,000 companies make up almost 2/3 of the industry. Make up almost 2/3 of the industry, and I know that these guys are the ones who experienced the problem the most because they were the subject of most of my interviewing. Our SaaS sits on an average plan of software as a service sits on an average plan of $150 a month per company. And we know this is a good price point because we know that the alternative ERP systems are in the $700 to $500 range. Sitting at this price point, we know we have a target market in the realm of $12.5 million per annum in just Australia. The significance of these 7,000 companies, however, is not that they are just SaaS companies, but that these same companies process $5 billion in invoice revenue every single year. if we can help, once we embed our software, we can actually help them expedite this cash flow and payment process through online payments. And in that process, we can actually take up to 10% of those transactions, meaning we have a completely additional market of $500 million just looking at these invoice payments. And you might think 10% is a lot to take from these companies, but we know it can be done because we've already processed $35,000 in invoices, and we've already taken 10% of those fees. In the last month, we onboarded a company here in Perth. We onboarded the first major scalable, sizable fleet earlier this month. It was a forklift rental company here in Perth, and they came to us with 212 machines managed in an Excel spreadsheet and an accounting, Xero is their accounting package, which they manually invoiced every single day. In that same period of us onboarding or transitioning them from their manual processes, we managed to save them at least 8 hours a week. One whole employee's job for an entire day of the week was manually issuing invoices to all their clients. Our co-founding team is a combination of industry and technical experience. I've spent almost 10 years as an electrical supervisor managing teams in high-paced construction environments, while Tom has almost 10 years as a full-stack developer and has built everything that you can see in our application from the ground up. James, on the other hand, comes straight from the rental industry. He's run, owned, and operated his own business, rental business, for the last 14 years. And between the three of us, we've managed hundreds of rental machines, from 50-kilo compactors to 50-ton excavators. We're looking for a $500,000 seed round from investors. We want this because we know that with that money, we can get the first 250 Australian small and medium-sized rental companies over the next 2 years. By embedding our software with these companies, everything's missing. By embedding our software with these companies, we'll be able to establish the first $500,000 in annual recurring revenue in 2 years' time. Thank you very much.